like you keep. I feel like you keep having fun. Every time you come, you got a new project. You've got a big birthday coming up.
I do.
By the way,
I do.
Me too, girl.
Okay,
Right here,
right.
right.
Sexy 60.
That's right.
Coming at you.
Keep telling yourself that, darling.
And you deserve them.
Thank you,
Let's
sweetheart.
talk about what else you're wanting. Are you dating?
Yeah.
How's it going?
I'm wanting to date.
Yeah.
It's limited resources out there, right?
Yo, Vivica Fox is looking for love at 60. Anybody want to take a guess how she got here? Does this sound familiar?
Another one.
What are the chances that Vivica Fox, Amanda Seales, Ebony K. Williams, Melyssa Ford, and successful black women like them are all single for the same reason? Do you think it's a coincidence? What's good, everybody? It's your boy Love from Love, Life, and the Game. Y'all know what it is. And before I get started with today's show, you guys make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so every time I drop a new video, you guys will get the notification. Without further ado, we're going to get into it. The clip that I showed you guys with Vivica Fox, I thought was a perfect segue into what I'm going to get into. I came across this video with Melyssa Ford, who was on a podcast. The host, I think, was Joe Budden, and the subject was it was about the negative image that gets attached to women who go from dating one celebrity after another. Melyssa Ford was a guest on the show, and they were asking her take. So let's just get into it and see what she has to say.
Just in general.
You know niggas are trying to get your work. Our shit probably been flooded since they started dating.
That shit was flooded before that.
Yeah, her shit's been flooded since they started dating. Yeah, niggas are trying to, you know what I mean?
So she might pop up back on the scene with somebody else?
I would hope not, for her sake.
Why?
Because now you stamp yourself. That's the stuff that women may not think about. You stamp yourself.
As?
One of those.
Okay.
That what, run from rapper to rapper?
Yeah.
Entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
What you think?
Wow, did you guys catch the way she's acting? Did you guys catch the little smirks and the little, she don't like that. So apparently Melyssa Ford has no problem with women degrading themselves, going after, basically dating one celebrity and then going to another and just, basically hoeing around. She has no problem with this. You can tell by her demeanor. Let's continue.
Yo, could you start to have a conversation, please? You asked me a question, I throw it back to you.
I think that generation does not give a solid fuck what anybody thinks. Like in terms of like the perception of like who they date after who they were just dating and stuff. They don't care.
They should.
Yeah, but you're the person that should say whether they should or not, no?
Good point.
No, I'm not the
Be the OG.
Fuck that. I'm not the morality police. Do what the fuck makes you happy. Sorry.
It's not about morals, but you could be passing down game to the young.
You are so pussy.
Yo, you could be passing down. You could be passing down game as a 47-year-old woman that's been in the entertainment industry and done your thing. You could be passing down game.
But
to
my
these young
perspective
girls.
might be that of a 47-year-old woman, and people be like, "Shut the fuck up, grandma. We're gonna do what the fuck we want to do." Listen, when you're young, do it all. That's my advice. When you're young, do it all.
Guys, I'm going to tell you the reason why Melyssa Ford doesn't want to answer this question or even speak against it, because she's lived that life. She's dated Drake, she's dated Tyrese, and she's dated Flo Rida. So she's been the girl that they're talking about. And that's the reason why she doesn't want to give advice on it. Oh yeah, she triggered. This is another prime example of how women don't want to be held, women that think the way that she does, don't want to be held accountable for making bad decisions. They don't want to be judged. They don't want to be held accountable. They want no repercussions for making bad decisions. Melyssa Ford is over 47 years old and she's single. And she's out here telling women that they should do it all. Have no discretion. Date whoever you want to date. Sleep with whoever you want to sleep with. Do it all. This is why she's single. And any woman out there who has a desire to have a family, who wants to have a nice, full, wholesome life, this is not the type of woman that you take advice from. Just like Ebony K. Williams, Vivica Fox, all of these successful black women who are all over 40, they're in their 40s and 50s, single, thinking that they have all the time in the world to find a man.
The mistakes while you can.
You can't be too afraid.
I'm not.
Youth a good word of wisdom, even if they look back and say,
I wish I'd had more hoe moments.
I bet you do.
Yo, it's It's interviews that feature women like this who give such bad advice to other women, who set such a bad example, that makes me really just feel sorry for this next generation of women, because they don't have very many role models to look up to, and it's unfortunate that they have people like Melyssa Ford, Ebony K. Williams, Kim Kardashian, Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B. I mean, these are the women that a lot of these younger women look up to and aspire to be like. And a lot of it centers around the money, the flashy stuff, and nothing is inspirational as far as like their character and things like that. Y'all, this is why Black women are the least married group of women in the country. I mean, this is the stigma that has been put out by social media, by shows, and I mean by shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians and Real Housewives of Atlanta. As long as you guys keep trying to emulate the lives of celebrities that you look up to, you're going to have an empty life. You're going to end up, like all the women that I just mentioned, whether it's Ebony K. Williams, whether it's Melyssa Ford, whether it's Vivica Fox, all in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, and finding out that this boss babe, single, independent, don't need a man lifestyle is really not everything it's cracked up to be. In this next video, I'm going to close with I'm going to show you guys something I found. It was on it's Adam Sosnick's show. He's got a great podcast. If you guys haven't checked him out, he has Zuby on his show, and Zuby is explaining the difference between Eastern culture and Western culture. I thought it was a very interesting conversation.
But to understand these countries, you have to understand that the highest thing, okay, if you were to think of at least in theory, what is the highest value and aspiration in the USA? This a question? Liberty. Freedom.
Yeah, freedom. Gotcha.
Right?
Right. I'm thinking about the money.
Freedom.
GDP.
I was going to say money.
Yeah. So if freedom, liberty, freedom, right? Mm-hmm. You have to understand with these nations and many others. This goes for China. This goes for many African countries and so on. Freedom/liberty is not the top value in every country and society, right? Yeah. So if you're looking at South,
why is that, by the way?
Well, one would have to make the argument, why should it be?
Maybe they've never had it, so they don't know any better.
I mean, I don't think it's a simple question. I mean, okay, look at the last few years that we lived through, and you know my thoughts on the whole scandemic situation, right? But we learned that actually most people value the feeling of safety more than they value freedom. Mm-hmm. Even in all these so-called Western democracies, how did they treat their citizens? Ooh, there's a little virus going out there. What happened to all your freedoms? What happened to all your liberties? What happened to all your rights?
That's a damn good point he just made. Yeah. As soon as we had the pandemic, what happened? We were on lockdown. What happened to everybody's so-called freedom? Are you really as free as you think you are? Let's continue.
The idea that liberty is the highest value that a nation or a society or a culture should aim for is very much up for debate. Think of all these conversations we're even having. Right. What are the downstream consequences, right? So there's places where they're like, okay, our top value might be safety, right? We want everyone to be safe. We want low crime. We don't want druggies all over the street. We want another top value might be adherence to a certain religion or faith, and everything is downstream of that. Another place could be like, hey, we want to make the most family-friendly environment, city, nation, whatever it is. So every country has a different sort of hierarchy of these values. So that's why when you're looking at something like a freedom index, in my view, it's going to paint a distorted picture.
Hey, if you guys are not familiar with Zuby, he is one of the most base brothers you will ever listen to, especially when it comes to topics like this. I've seen him on Pearly Things. On this show, he's on Adam Sosnick's show called The Saucecast. Shout out to those guys. Love them. Follow them. He always puts out great content. But I want you guys to pay it in particular attention. I mean, not just his words, but I want you to look at this beautiful sister that's next to him. I believe she's from Dubai. I didn't really catch her name, but just all throughout the interview, you'll see how feminine, how respectful her whole demeanor is. And, when we talk about countries, a lot of countries that the United States tries to just basically talk crap about and say, oh, it's so terrible there. The women don't have any freedom, yada, 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 all this kind of stuff. But The one thing that America doesn't want to address, especially when we talk about the feminist movement and those who support it, they never want to talk about the fact that men are leaving in droves to go to countries like Dubai, to go to places like the DR, to Colombia, different parts of South Asia, because all of these women from those places, they exude the same kind of energy that you see from this lovely woman right here. She just, she doesn't strike you. She didn't have to say a word, but you can see she doesn't strike you as someone who's loudmouth, who's argumentative, who's arrogant, who's full of pride. She just has a sweet, delicate aura about her. And this is what men are attracted to. So that's really all I got for today's show, man. Again, hit that like, share, subscribe button. Leave a comment in the comment section. Check out the merch in the description. And I will see you guys on the next one.